Hello and welcome or welcome back to the Unbound Soul Tarot. I am so glad that you have found your way to me, and I hope that you are excited to dig into today's reading. And to give you a bit of an overview, this one was actually inspired by Mercury retrograde, which we are in at the time of me filming this reading, and most likely when this reading goes up as well. So regardless of when you actually watch this, because this is a timeless reading, the idea just came to me because of Mercury retrograde and things sort of coming back around. We are getting a do-over, so to say. And yeah, I thought it might be fun to take a look at some things that you may be getting a second chance in life with, regardless of when this thing is actually happening, whether it has anything to do with Mercury retrograde or not. I just thought it was a cool idea. So yeah, that's what we are doing. And of course, because we are taking a look at things from the past or something that has already come into your life sometime in the past, we are, of course, honoring some older tarot decks as well. I haven't used these guys in a very long time, but yeah, these are my tried and true. So we are revisiting them today, and I am really excited to get into it. So without further ado, let's take a look at the piles that you get to choose from today. The first pile is represented by this card and the Tattoo Tarot. The second pile is represented by this card and the Fountain Tarot. And the third pile is represented by this card and the Wild Unknown Tarot. So if you already know exactly which pile you feel drawn to, then you can go into the description box down below, click on the timestamp that you need, and jump straight to your reading. If you feel drawn to watch more than one pile, feel free to. There may be several messages in there for you, but if you need some guidance on how to go about choosing the right pile for you, then the best thing that I would recommend is getting yourself present in this moment, trying to calm yourself down, taking some deep breaths, closing your eyes as well to really tune into what your physical body is doing, how it's feeling, anything that is coming up for you sensation-wise or sound-wise, anything like that. And if you are distracted by anything, if there is a lot of noise or commotion around you, try and get yourself away from that. And as you open your eyes and take a look at these piles, take a look at the cards, see what you are drawn to, see what is coming up, see what you feel or hear or see. Maybe there is something that your eye keeps landing on time and time again. Maybe there is a symbol or a color. Maybe there is something that you just feel an intuitive pull towards. Trust your intuition, however it speaks to you. But as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen, and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. I really appreciate it. And by the way, I don't really say it. I always forget to say it. It's not really my style. But in the name of promoting my channel and making it hopefully grow a bit more quickly, if you happen to enjoy this reading or anything about what I do here on this channel, then feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel so that you wouldn't miss any upcoming uploads. And yeah, comment, let me know who you are, what you are doing, all of that good stuff. So yeah, I hope that you decide to stick around for longer. But anyway, now that that's out of the way, the most uncomfortable thing, let's actually get to the cards that you chose, pile 1. So you chose this card, and you also chose the Tattoo Tarot. Now, this card has a little message on the other side of this card. I have no idea what it is or what this card says, and we are going to keep it a mystery until the end of today's reading. So I'm just going to put this card right over here. We're going to be unveiling that card at the very end of today's reading. And of course, we are also going to be dipping into the tarot cards in just a bit, because first let's start off with the pre-prepared oracle cards, which are kind of a norm on my channel. And let's take a look at your current general state. So what is on your mind? What are you going through as you are watching this reading right now? So hopefully as you listen to these messages, which should describe your current general state, it should be easy for you to recognize whether this is your pile or not. Okay, so we have integrate, to combine, to make whole, to dissolve the tension, to include. Okay, we have failure, lock, reward or recognition, and practice, to put into action, to apply a concept in a practical way, to hone a skill, to develop a habit, to exercise. Okay. I have no idea what this is, but I swear to God, every single reading that I have been doing lately, where we have been checking into the overall energy, things that are currently going on, there have been so many undercurrents of shadow work or doing some sort of introspection, working through things internally, analyzing, self-assessing, all of that, like deep work, that seems to be such a huge theme because it keeps coming up time and time again. And pile number one, this whole spread here is very much hinting at doing some massive mental gymnastics. And what I mean by that is there seems to be this breaking free of certain holds. Now, I'm going to start off with the center card because I just feel like this one sums everything up so beautifully. And it's hinting at something having been locked in place or like chained up, right? It's rigid, it's fixed, it's stuck. And it feels like you are working on breaking that lock down, freeing yourself from some sort of hold, from some sort of shackles, things that have inhibited you, that have kept you from moving forward in a way that you have wanted to move forward. Again, I feel like there is so much of this mental aspect that is at play here. There is something about you actually working on looking at the failures or shortcomings that you have had in life. And again, these failures, they may be something that you have perceived to be failures, whereas maybe they were just stepping stones or learning curves. But without a doubt, the experiences that you most likely have seen as failures have been emotionally really testing and defeating, like morally defeating, I want to say. And so with this integrate card, it just seems like you are in the process of actually including those experiences into your life, into your sort of narrative in a different sort of way, giving a different meaning to them, or maybe starting to value the lesson or the benefit of having gone through them. There's something about like hindsight energy that seems to be at play here. And the reason why I feel that there is this a different sort of perspective that you now have is because of these two cards. And it's, for whatever reason, this card is screaming gratitude to me, even though it's talking about like recognition and, you know, having some sort of accolades or rewards or things like that being given to you. I actually feel gratitude from this card, and especially with the keyword practice, it feels like you are in the process of practicing more gratitude for your life, for what you have gone through, for what has led you to this point right now. And again, even the more difficult, even the more defeating and challenging aspects that you have gone through, you are now at this point where you seem to be able to have gratitude for those as well, because you now are able to look back on those with a different lens, or through a different lens. And in so doing, you seem to be breaking down some sort of locks, something, and I feel like this lock has even been something that you previously were not aware of. But now, since you have this awareness, you are able to break it down and set yourself free. So yeah, I don't know, pile number 1, that is what I feel that you are currently doing, or what is sort of front of mind for you, the current state that you are in. You are breaking down these locks, these barriers, these I feel like these traps that have been weighing you down. So yeah, pile number 1, that is the energy that is coming through from these cards. But we are now going to get to the main part of this reading, and we're going to use both oracle cards and the tarot cards that you chose to get our answers. First and foremost, of course, we are going to start off with the second chance. That is the whole meaning of today's reading. So we are going to take a look at, where are you getting a second chance? What is this thing that you are getting a chance or a do-over in that you thought was lost to you? So let's start off with the tarot and see what we get. We have Strength and the Lovers, and we have Money. Interesting. Okay, so pile number 1, I moved these cards around to make them the central theme, because that makes sense, right? That is the biggest theme that we are looking at. So getting into the cards though, I want to start off with the more general sort of energy first. And I want to say, with the Money card that came out, it feels a lot more value related to me than specifically money. Now, the energy overall with these 3 cards hints at having the opportunity to show how much something means to you and how much you are willing to fight for something, or really truly commit to something that means a lot to you. With this Strength card, there is definitely an element of having to face some sort of challenges and having your strength put to the test, having your resolve and your level of investment put to the test. And with the Lovers here, there is definitely some form of commitment that is at play, some form of partnership, or some form of really being invested, giving of yourself fully, and sort of jumping in with 2 feet. Like there is this feeling of like no holding back and giving it your all. And so it feels like you are getting a second chance at being fully invested in something, having like true stocks, like either with someone or in something. And again, because of this energy of money, or as I said, value, it's this ability to actually strengthen, to deepen, to make more solid your connection with something that again, you truly value, something that you want to have in your life for a longer time. And so it's almost like you are getting a second chance at like proving how serious you are about this. Now, I also was getting more of a specific message, so I have to put it out there. I'm not sure how many of you are going to resonate with this, but if some of you have passed up on some sort of job opportunity, work opportunity, that maybe scared you because of how challenging the tasks or demands seemed, or what the requirements were at the job, and maybe they kind of put you off from actually applying for the position, or maybe even, you know, if you were presented it, maybe, you know, let's say that your boss thought of you for this position specifically, but there was something about you feeling like you weren't up to the task, or like you didn't have it in you or something. There may have been some hesitation regarding your own sort of sense of self-value or something like that. Then maybe, you know, if you decided to turn it down, or you decided not to go for the job, then there may be some sort of kind of regrets that are tied to that. And there may be an opportunity for you to either go for something similar, or like have another go at that job offer or something, and like actually sign the contract, or actually like go ahead and agree to this offer. So yeah, it just feels like a second chance at getting invested in, or like committing yourself to something that that may not be the like easiest thing, or that may challenge or scare you in some degree, but it's like challenging you in the best way, because it's forcing you to like grow and develop, and to learn as you go, and become more wise, and become more skilled, and all of that. So I feel like it's a good form of challenge, but it just may have scared you, and there may have been this hesitation or holding yourself back from actually going for this thing, even though it's clearly something that you wanted. Now, let's also take a look at how can you make the most of this opportunity? How can you make the best use of the second chance that you are given? Okay, so we have the Star, the Ace of Coins, and Stability. Okay, so I just want to show you before we actually get to the cards, because I found it so interesting that the underlying energies on both of the decks, there is a similarity in there. We have Knowledge and we have the Hierophant. So both cards very much tied to wisdom and learning and knowing. And so one of the messages that I instantly feel like saying is learn as much as you possibly can. Take advantage of the information that is being shared with you. Have an open mind. Pay attention to any sort of wise counsel that you get, any solid advice from people that you look up to, people that have a solid standing in this thing that you are doing. Maybe they have some experience, some former experience in this area. Maybe they are somehow like higher up than you in this area. Maybe they are just really experienced and wise beyond their years people. So yeah, have an open mind, and again, learn as much as you can. Be sort of humble in the sense that there is always so much to learn and to find out more about. So that student attitude, I feel, is something that is definitely going to help you. But looking at the cards that you got, we have the Star, the Ace of Coins, and Stability. And so how you can sort of get the most out of this second chance that you are being given is by sort of playing it nice and steady, by going after the thing, or by making your moves in a practical and stable way, right? We have all of these roots that are being displayed here. And so it's talking about having a solid foundation and really building yourself from the ground up, making sure that your bases are covered, so that there are no like shortcuts, that you are not trying to bypass anything or anyone, that you are actually putting in the work. And I kind of want to just focus on these two cards together for a second, because we have this Ace of Pentacles, which is tied to the earth element. And so there is a level of practicality and sort of being more grounded, being more practical and methodical with what you are doing and what sort of actions you are taking. There is a message of routine or some sort of habitual patterns. So like little tiny things that you do every single day, you can build up a lot from staying dedicated and staying consistent with your actions, with your efforts, with your like resources, the things that you are investing into this thing, the ways in which you are showing up. And it's all in the name of building this strong foundation, this steady base. But we also have this star card here, and I feel like this is talking about like having hope and having faith and having belief in this sort of new opportunity or this new chance being solid, being something real. Because I don't know whether this is more of a specific message or not, but I do feel that someone here may be scared or somewhat hesitant about this thing disappearing or them losing that opportunity again. And so there may be some fear attached to it. But yeah, I feel like the star is a clear indication that you can actually rewrite the future, in the sense that you have the opportunity to make things better, to have them work out in your favor. But there is a dose of faith that is needed here, a dose of belief. And also, again, as I said, kind of showing up consistently, putting in the work, doing the routine or the habitual thing, this sort of little mundane, day in, day out attention that you are giving this thing. So if you have a second opportunity at, like, let's say going after a dream of some kind, then like doing something every day where you at least place some of your attention and your intention on going after this dream. And better yet, if you have the ability to do something practical, to do something small in the name of working towards that goal, whatever it is for you, then that is something that is definitely recommended here. And now finally, let's take a look at the potential outcome or result of taking this opportunity. So what can this thing lead to if you were to make use of this second chance? So we have the Eight of Wands, the King of Swords, and Escape. So pile number one, I'm gonna start off with these two cards because I feel like they are talking about a great deal of momentum and liberation, setting yourself free from most likely some form of rigid mindset or a very limited kind of thinking, a very fixed kind of thinking. And yeah, this Eight of Wands is just, I don't know why, but I really like the energy of the Eight of Wands specifically from all of these cards, because it feels like it's so like targeted and focused, and it's so driven to succeed. And there is so much like power and movement that is behind this card. So yeah, you seem to be able to set yourself free and actually get yourself moving. And the thing is, I find it really interesting that we have this escape, right? This escape, which is depicted as a hand holding this person back or trying to stop them from moving on. And so even though I do feel more strongly that this King of Wands is actually very heavily tied to this lock energy, this like mental, how can I say? I want to say firm hold. I'm not even sure that that's a word, but you know, this energy of feeling very much held back and restrained by some form of thinking, by some form of beliefs, or it's basically like a perspective sort of thing, a mindset sort of thing. So you seem to be able to set yourself free from that and actually move towards success, move towards hitting your goal and fully going for it, like truly believing and going after having what you want. But as I said, it's interesting the way that this card is depicted as a hand of someone else. So this King of Swords may very well represent a person as well. They may be a person that exists in your life currently, or they may actually be someone that you don't actively talk to anymore, that isn't actively a part of your life, but whose words, whose influence, whose mentality is maybe something that still lives on, like with you or within your own mind. And so you may be able to set yourself free from their influence, from the ways in which they have negatively impacted you and sort of had control over you. So yeah, there's just beautiful sort of, again, this beautiful sense of liberation that is coming through here. But pile number one, let's start wrapping up this reading. It has been quite a long one again, I feel. But you know, it is what it is. I am kind of throwing my hands up here and just saying that apparently I cannot do quick readings. It's just not my thing. I like to get into the cards. I like to take my time with them. I like to, you know, just babble on whatever comes out. And yeah, that's just the way that it is. So yeah, so just, you know, giving you a heads up that most likely this is not going to change. But as I said, we are getting to the end of this reading. We're getting close. So we are first going to get an oracle card message that is going to wrap up this reading. So this is going to be advice from Spirit regarding this whole energy that we have been talking about. And yeah, let's see what Spirit wants to tell you. Oh, okay. Interesting. We have Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Ooh, okay, interesting. So yeah, this feels very much like this open-minded, ready to learn, ready to be the student sort of energy. So let go of the need to be right. Be okay with not getting things perfect. Be okay with messing up. Be okay with making mistakes and learning from them. That is truly the force that takes you forward the furthest in life. And so don't worry about not getting things perfect and right every single time. Messing up is part of the game, a very, very important part of the game. At the bottom of the deck, we have She-Wolf, unleash the wild within. Yeah, I love this. So allow yourself to be who you are, unleash your wild side, and allow that uniqueness to shine through. Now, pile number one, we have arrived at this point where we are now unveiling the message that is on the other side of this card that you chose. So let's see what we get. Self-acceptance begins with the awareness that the negative thoughts you have about yourself are not fact, and that you are capable of shifting your perspective around them. Oh my goodness. I mean, oh wow. Oh my God. I love when we get like this full circle moment where something is like coming back around to like the beginning of the reading, or some of these more key messages that have been coming in. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to read it again because I really, really love the sound of this. And of course, I'm going to show you the card up close as well so you can read it for yourself. But self-acceptance begins with the awareness that the negative thoughts you have about yourself are not fact, and that you are capable of shifting your perspective around them. Oof, oh my goodness. I really, really love this. So again, as I said at the very beginning, it feels like you are doing some mental gymnastics. You are exercising your brain and rewiring the system that exists, the connections that you have in your mind. You are resetting them. Okay, is this card going to focus? There we go. Now you can read it, hopefully. And also there is a little ritual on the bottom of the deck, on the bottom of the card here. So if you want to read that, go ahead and feel free to do it as well. But hopefully you saw that okay. But yeah, wow, pile number one. The power is in your hands. You have the ability to break free of these chains, of this hold, and as I said, rewrite the future. So yeah, I love it. I love it, pile number one. I hope that you do too. I hope that you found these messages meaningful. And if you did, if you enjoyed this reading, and if you're still here, by the way, then leave me a little wolf. Leave me a little wolf emoji down on the down in the comment section so that I would know that you are here, that you watched this thing all the way through, that you connected with the messages. I always love so much to hear from you and to read about your experience with these messages. So I would love to know that these meant something to you. And as always, I am hoping to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen and I want to say a quick thank you just for tuning in, for choosing to spend your time with me and hang out. I really, really appreciate your presence. And yeah, let's get into it. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. I promised myself that I was going to do a bit of shameless self-promotion, even though it is such an awkward thing for me and I don't really like doing it. But I really want to see my channel grow. And so if you enjoy this reading at any point, if you like my style or my energy and you enjoy what I'm doing here and you want to support me, then the easiest way for you to do that is by hitting the subscribe button, giving a like to this reading, and leaving me a comment in the comment section, just saying hi or just letting me know that you are here. And yeah, I would really, really love to connect with you and see you in the comment section as well. But if you don't want to do that, if you are just, comfortable with giving a like and maybe subscribing, that would be great too. I truly, truly appreciate any support that you send my way. So yeah, thank you. And let's move on. So we have this card that you chose, and we also have the Fountain Tarot that you chose. And this card actually has a message on the other side of this image, which I have no idea what it is, and we are going to keep it as such. This is going to be a secret until the end of the reading. This is going to be the last wrap-up message that we look at. So it's going to stay right over here, waiting for its time. And also, the Fountain Tarot is going to be waiting for its time as well, because we are going to start off with some pre-prepared oracle cards first, as is the norm on my channel. We are going to get a glimpse of the sort of energy that you are entering this reading with. So what is the current general state of you as you are watching this reading right now? So hopefully, as you listen to these messages, it should be easy for you to detect yourself, or maybe understand that this isn't your pile after all. Okay, we have behavior. How you express your feelings through action or speech, or how you conduct yourself towards others, your actions and reactions. Pleasures. Love this card. Pillar. Home. And opinion. Ooh, we have the same category of these cards, beautiful colors as well. We have opinion, a view that is formed based on what you know, how you think, and how you feel. A perspective or judgment informed by your personal experiences, your upbringing, and your worldview. Okay, so pile number 2, I definitely feel a bit of a need for comfort in this pile. All of these cards seem to hint at you currently being in this space where you need something or someone to rely on, where you need some support, some steadiness, some feel-good energy. The main reason why I'm saying it is because of this center card, which says pillar. And so clearly there is some focus on what you are relying on, what you believe to be your sort of backbone or foundation. Maybe, I'm going to kind of jump ahead here, maybe there is also some reviewing of like certain values or certain core beliefs that you have, certain opinions that you have formed, again, based on where you grew up or what your parents taught you, maybe what sort of familial atmosphere or dynamic was at play at home, anything like that. Maybe it's more of a specific message, but I definitely feel that for someone here, this is relevant. and just sort of, just reviewing what your foundations even are, and whether you actually still believe in those, whether you maybe have developed certain questions, or maybe you want to change or adopt something else, or tweak around some of these opinions and behavioral patterns that you have. But as I said, this feels much more specific. Mostly, overall, this energy seems to talk about just needing to feel secure, needing to feel safe and steady, and finding that from your home, definitely, because obviously we have the home card here. But also I feel like there are some most likely indulging behaviors that you are currently drawn to very, very much. So you may be focusing on treating yourself to things, allowing yourself, again, these little indulgences, these pick-me-ups, if you will. And I feel like it's these little things, just these little nuggets every day, something to add to your mundane day-to-day life, something that would fuel you with motivation to keep going, something that would something that would keep you going. And so obviously we have this home card here. And so for a lot of you, you may be very much focused on the home life at this time. Maybe you are spending more time with your family or with your siblings, if you have any, with your parents, if you are close with them. Or maybe you are simply, again, just wanting to put more focus on your home life and creating this sort of sacred space at home, a safe haven, if you will. And I feel like the opinion card is hinting at you maybe having a certain shift in opinion as well. And I know it says opinion, but for some reason I keep feeling a strong pull towards like your value system, or something that you deem a priority. So you may be in the process of reshifting certain priorities and maybe formulating a different way in which you regard the importance of your family, of your bonds, your connections, your again, your sort of home or private life, and maybe starting to put more focus on that rather than like the external world and these worldly ambitions. So it seems to be a bit of a, I don't know whether hunkering down is the right term to use, but like pulling in a bit, or shifting your focus more towards like these, again, private life, internal home life focused things. So that is what I'm feeling, pile number 2 from these cards. If you can resonate with this energy at all, then definitely stay tuned, because now we are going to actually get into the tarot cards that you chose, as well as we are spicing things up today. We are using some oracle cards as well. And sorry, that was super loud. It wasn't meant to do that, but anyway. Let's start at the very top. Of course, we are first going to get a glimpse at what it is that is coming back around. What sort of second chance are you getting? What is this thing that you thought was lost to you that you are now getting a do-over in? So let's see what we get. Okay, so we have the Hermit in reverse, the Three of Wands in reverse, and the Journey, which kind of wanted to come out in reverse as well, but there really aren't reversals in this oracle deck, so I'm just going to keep it as is. Pile number 2. These cards are interesting, and the message coming through is quite interesting as well, so I'm going to try and get it out as sort of clearly as I can, but I don't know. We'll see how good of a job I do at that. So we have the Hermit in reverse, the Three of Wands in reverse, and we also have this Journey card. And I'm going to start off with the more broad message that is here, this more general energy. And I feel like the second chance that you are getting is regarding like expressing yourself or connecting with the outside world in a more authentic way, or in a more genuine way, and in a more fearless way as well. There is something about, sorry, these cards are so bright. I have to, again, turn the light down a bit. I know it's getting pretty dim, but otherwise you won't be able to see the illustrations too well. So the energy of these cards is some form of like reaching out to other people, or socializing, or having this contact with the outside world. But it almost feels like you have felt that you have kind of lost out on that, or like there has been this, okay, how can I say it the best way? This feels like such a complex energy. You know, someone who believes that their prime has already been, like that they have already moved past their prime, and that their life is not all that exciting anymore, and it's all kind of like the same thing day in and day out, and everything exciting, and all of these cool connections and events and energies that like were a constant thing when they were younger, that none of that really exists in their life anymore. It's all just the same dull thing. So, you know, it's like, it's that sort of belief, and maybe feeling like your life is already behind you, or like the best times in your life are already behind you. But see, I feel like that's the thing that is changing, the thing that is sort of coming back around, where you are able to like rejoin life, I want to say, or come out of this like hermit's cave, because for some reason I feel like this hermit card is talking about this period of time where you have maybe been sort of more sheltered, or more withdrawn, and more separated from the like outside world, metaphorically speaking. And so it almost feels like you are starting to like push yourself out of your comfort zone, in the sense that there may be certain like exciting connections that you maybe have lost touch with the Three of Wands in reverse, especially if these people are like, if you had cool friends or cool acquaintances from overseas, or just like from foreign places, not local to where you are. You know, if you had cool connections like that, it may be something that you have the ability to revitalize and kind of bring back, or revive is the word that I really wanted to say. So yeah, there is just something about like continuing on the journey, or bringing back this spark of enthusiasm and excitement when it comes to life, and doing it from a more authentic place. Because I feel like this whole like pulling into yourself has been a necessary time for you to really find out about who you truly are. Again, what those values are that you rely on, what are these foundational beliefs, whether you truly subscribe to them, whether maybe there is something else that you want to do with your life, or some other ways of being that you want to live your life according to. All of these questions, you seem to have been pondering those and potentially sitting with those for quite a while. And so, yeah, there may have been this idea that maybe you have sort of wasted so much time and spent a lot of your kind of youth, or this like valuable time, that it's a bit like too late to step back into life in a really engaged or exciting sort of way. But I feel like that's not the case, and that's what these cards seem to be talking about. Now, I also want to give quickly a more specific scenario here too, because I do feel that all of these cards are hinting at some sort of like traveling idea as well, especially if you were maybe considering doing like some sort of like yoga retreat or spiritual solo trip of some kind, like finding yourself sort of trip thing, a hike, or spiritual journey, something like that. If you were planning on doing that, and for whatever reason it fell through, or you just didn't end up doing it, then I feel like that opportunity is going to be coming back around. And yeah, you can kind of revisit that idea, that plan. But as I said, that feels like a very specific message, but it was coming through, so I had to give it. But pile number 2, let's dig into this a little bit more. Let's see, how can you make the most of this second chance that is being presented to you? How can you take advantage of this chance that you are being given? Okay, interesting. So we have the 10 of Cups, the 3 of Cups in reverse, and the release card. By the way, I just wanted to quickly show you that the underlying energy was the Tower, which is, I feel like, so beautifully illustrated. So I just wanted to show you. But yeah, we had the Tower, and also on the bottom of the deck here we have versatility. And I feel like these 2 cards are kind of important in the sense that the cards that you got are, at the very least, I feel very much talking to this need to broaden your mind regarding what you consider to be like fun or letting loose or socializing, maybe even, because we have the 10 of Cups and the 3 of Cups that came out in reverse, and we also have this release card. And so again, with this release, I feel this strong connection to the Tower energy, where there is something about having to let go of maybe a more fixated way of thinking. And again, kind of opening your heart up to multiple different ways of this energy of connectedness coming through, because the 10 of Cups is this ultimate sense of belonging, this true vulnerable connection, this feeling good and harmonious with where you are and who you are surrounded by. And I love that we're getting these Cups cards, because it's kind of reaffirming that a very strong element in this reading is about your connection to other people and sort of how you fit in to like social dynamics at large. I don't feel like this is simply talking about like any romantic relationships or any like friendship kind of dynamics either. There seems to be more broad than that. And so yeah, with the 3 of Cups coming out in reverse, I feel like there is this this change in perspective, or the shift in perspective when it comes to what you consider to be, again, socializing or having fun or feeling like you belong, like that there's some sort of change regarding that needs to happen. And I love that we are getting the 10 of Cups and the 3 of Cups next to each other, because between these 2 cards we have the energy of the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups is again an energy of options, of sort of this liminal space where there are all of these different choices in front of you, all of these different ways in which you could go and what you could choose. So I feel like opening yourself up to different ways of connecting could be really useful. And I feel that it's especially potent if you are someone who has struggled a lot with people pleasing. I feel that may be a really potent message for those of you, because there is a strong element of, like, again, authenticity and like connecting with the world and connecting with people in a more authentic way, where you feel that it's okay to be you, where you feel that you don't have to act in like a socially acceptable sort of way, or in a way that is easy to stomach for people. So yeah, finding a sense of belonging in like different ways, and being okay with opening up to like new communities or new groups of people, and not just staying with the ones that are familiar to you. But let's also see what we can find out about the last question, which is going to be, what is the potential outcome or result of taking this opportunity? So where can this making the most of this second chance actually lead you? Okay, and we have stress at the bottom of the deck here. So the cards that you got are the Ten of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Affirmation card. Okay, yeah, this feels really straightforward and maybe more specific as well, but I do feel that maybe this whole reading is more specific in general, or it maybe resonates with like only a very specific sort of group of people, I don't know. But we have the Ten of Wands, the Two of Wands, and we have this Affirmation card as well. And these two cards though, the Ten and the Two of Wands, I feel like where you are going to be potentially led through taking advantage of this second chance or this opportunity is becoming much more at ease with making certain concrete decisions and not feeling like you have to like accommodate everything and take everything into account. Because I feel that there is this, I don't know, maybe this is not the nicest message to hear, but I do feel that it's prevalent and it's important, and I have to say it. There is some element of like playing it safe that I feel is in this reading. And maybe this aspect of like playing it safe has, yes, like it has definitely kept you away from certain disappointments and risky situations and things like that. But I also feel that there is an element of like holding on to everything and kind of feeling like you have to involve everything, include everything, and not really take a risk with potentially losing something. And I feel that because of this Two of Wands, there is specifically this fear of losing out on something that may prove to be like beneficial or prove to be full of potential. So it almost feels like this lack of choosing, because you almost like you want to not miss out on anything, but then because you don't choose, you end up missing out on everything. Does that even make sense? I don't know. I'm sorry, pile number two. I really don't know. I feel like I'm maybe not expressing myself in the best way, but this Affirmation card is one that really sums it up. This is all about firm, concrete decisions, making choices that you cannot backtrack on, going ahead with something that you want to do and doing it and accepting the consequences and living with the consequences and feeling okay with the choice that you have made. And this is truly where I feel that the second chance can take you, to making some sort of choice, actually going ahead and sticking to a decision and being okay with it, feeling good about it, and even being able to enjoy the rewards of making that decision. Because even though there is no putting this watermelon back together, there is this ability to actually enjoy the watermelon, to actually get to eat the fruit, right? And not just look at it and touch it and smell it and imagine what it might taste like, right? You actually get to taste it and get to the juice of it. So yeah, there's something about like actually getting to the juice of it, getting to enjoy something because you are willing to take a risk, because you are willing to actually do the thing. And I quickly want to jump to the underlying energy here, because we have this stress card. And again, this seems like a massive confirmation about like something about choosing stresses you out big time, I feel. Like committing to a final decision, something that you maybe can't go back on, or at least maybe you perceive that if you choose something, then you miss out on all of the other options and you can't go back on the choice that you've made. And there's something really scary and stressful and anxiety inducing that I feel is tied into that for you. Sorry, again, as I said, I'm not sure that I'm making much sense here, but it just feels like this forward momentum, this ability to propel yourself forward, to actually step out of the safe cocoon and go and explore and go and have fun and go and like rejoin life and actually be glad about it, you know? And the last thing, I'm quickly jumping back to these cards for the last time, because I forgot to mention that the 2 and the 10 of Wands They are hiding an energy of the Eight of Wands. In between these two cards is the energy of the Eight of Wands, which is all about forward movement and fast movement and decisive movement and going towards a specific goal or objective. And I feel like there is so much power in that, of like actually moving forward, right? Not feeling like your life is just stagnant and that you are standing in one place, you know? Oh boy, pile number 2. This was something. I have no idea how this reading is actually going to speak to you, whether this is going to, or how this is going to land, how this is going to speak to you. But I hope that you are resonating with something, or that these messages are meaningful for someone who is still here. We are going to be looking at the final message very soon. We are almost there, I promise. But before we do that, I also want to pull a card from this oracle deck, something to wrap these messages up with. This is going to be an advice message from Spirit regarding this whole spread. So let's see what we get. Oh, wow, that flew out. Ooh, okay. I feel like this card is so spot on right now. It's not even funny. We have the Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. Yep, exactly. Because I feel like on the other side of those fears are your deepest desires, your most fulfilling desires, the things that will truly, truly give you this oomph, again, this juice of life, right? Track down your fears and desires. Beautiful. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck, we have Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. Yeah, see, I feel like the thing is that you already know exactly what it is that you want. You already know exactly what you feel is lacking or missing in your life. And you are also already aware of the things that aren't maybe fully in alignment with this dream life that you're maybe wanting to live. So I feel like, yeah, you already know all of that because you have been in this hermit's cave. You have done the work. You have analyzed. You have taken a look into the mirror, and you have shown a light into the darkness, into the shadows. And yeah, you have bravely confronted a lot of these things in you. And so it's all about actually using that information that you now have to make your life more exciting again, right? To step out of that cave now. But pile number 2, the time has come. We are going to take a look at the message that is on the other side of this card to wrap this whole thing up. So let's see. By the way, I really love that we are getting this kiwi. I already noticed that earlier, but I forgot to mention it. So I love that. Okay. You are a beautiful place to call home. Home is where you sit. It is in the beats of your heart and the warmth of your hands. Wow. Okay, so I love this message because it's re-emphasizing the notion that you are your own home. And so wherever you go, you have that safety and security right there with you. And I love the first sentence here. You are a beautiful place to call home. See, you can be what someone calls home. You deserve to be that, and you can have that. You are a beautiful place to call home. So feel free to be seen. Pile number 2 is what I want to add. But I'm gonna leave it here. I feel like I'm sort of getting drifting away and getting sucked into some of these energies, and I don't know how well I am navigating all of this, but hopefully I did my best. Hopefully I did these messages justice and you got something useful from these messages. If you are still here, by the way, if you made it to this point, first of all, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But also it would be really cool if you let me know by leaving me a cake. Leave me a little cake emoji down in the comment section, so that I would know that you made it to this point, that you enjoyed this, and that you got something from these messages. I always love to hear how you resonate with these readings, how they speak to you, and all of that good jazz. So I hope to see you there and connect with you in the comment section. But pile number 2. I also hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen, and I want to say a quick thank you for choosing to hang out with me and be here and share your beautiful presence. I truly, truly appreciate it, and I hope that you are going to enjoy this reading that we are about to do. Now, before we get to the cards that you actually chose, I want to get this part out of the way because I am trying to push myself out of my comfort zone too. So if you enjoy this reading at any point, if you like my energy, my vibe, my channel, and you want to see more readings from me, then please leave me a like, a comment, subscribe to my channel so you wouldn't miss any upcoming videos either. You know, all of that good stuff. It's the easiest way to support my channel and keep these readings coming. So yeah, I would really, really appreciate it if you did that, if you enjoy my readings. And yeah, letting me know in the comments that you are here, just saying hi. You know, I always appreciate it, and it really, really warms my heart to actually connect with you. But now that that's out of the way, pile number 3, let's actually get to your reading. So you chose this card over here, and you also chose the Wild Unknown Tarot. Now, this card has a message on the other side of this card, and I have no idea what it is, what this says, and we are going to leave it here on the side until the very end of the reading. And yeah, that is when we are going to be seeing what the wrap-up message is for you. And we're also going to take a look at the tarot in just a bit, because first we are going to start off with the pre-prepared oracle cards, which are going to paint us a bit of a picture regarding where you are currently at as you are watching this reading. What is your current general state? So you should be able to recognize yourself fairly easily from these messages. So let's see. Okay, we have limiting beliefs. What are the negative assumptions or perceptions that limit and stop you from being the best version of yourself? What have you been conditioned to believe? Okay, wow. We have breakup. Oof. We have poison. Okay, what is going on, pile number 3? Oh my goodness. We have vibration of fear. And we have purpose. What is your North Star, your calling? What drives you and inspires you? What do you allow to guide your actions? What gives life meaning? Oof, I mean, pile number 3, you are not playing around. I can already tell. Okay, so pile number 3, as I said, it's clear that you did not come to play around. This is some heavy hitting energy. And I do feel that at this time you are very much being affected by negative energies or just negativity in general. There seem to be certain unhealthy or maybe even toxic elements that you are sort of considering right now, that you are thinking about right now, or that are just simply very much at the forefront of your mind. These energies or people or connections that you have that are literally poisoning you, that are taking away from your vitality, from your sense of joy, from your fulfillment in life, from just having peace and serenity and just living life the way that you want to live it. And I'm kind of jumping ahead here because we do have this purpose card, which is like the only more light focused, or like light focus is like the best way that I can say it, sort of card here. So this is actually a light work card. And it's clear that there is something about your purpose that you may be trying to focus on, or that you may be trying to rediscover. And maybe, again, maybe you are trying to start cutting these negative forces or these negative elements out by focusing on what you want your life to look like, what you want your future to look like, and what is the bigger sort of purpose for your life in general. Like what is the truest form that you want to embody. And now we do have this vibration of fear that is next to this purpose card as well. And so clearly there could be certain anxieties that are at play. There may be certain fears, most likely also driven by these limiting beliefs that are maybe making it seem like you are not able to do this thing, this dream, go after this thing that you want, that you are not able to maybe even find your purpose. It could be part of that too, that maybe you are somewhat unsure what this North Star for you even is. And maybe you are afraid that you are like running out of time, or that you are never going to find it, or something like that. But just in general, like overall, this energy feels very much like 9 of Swords to me. So if you're familiar with tarot terms, this anxious and worried and overthinking, that sort of energy is very much like this neurotic even, I want to say. Like this sort of energy is coming out over here. And I feel like it's because there are some deeply disturbing energies around you. Now, we do have this breakup here as well. And so again, because this breakup is next to the limiting beliefs card, I do feel that on the one hand, it may talk about you wanting to distance yourself, or wanting to cut off certain limiting beliefs, wanting to clean house, so to say. Again, next to this poison card as well, you may be trying to eliminate the toxicity that exists in your life, these negative influences that are around you. But this breakup card, again, it could also indicate that there has been some sort of a loss, or some sort of a shake-up sort of event that you have gone through that has maybe brought about some doubts, some limiting beliefs, some things like that to surface within you. And so maybe this energy of anxiousness that you are in right now, and maybe like even this questioning, what is this all for? What is your life for? Like all of that, like it feels like a bit of a black cloud, and a pretty serious one, pile number 3. So I'm really feeling you here, if that's you. But as I said, this black cloud, it seems to be something that you are dealing with because of something external that has sort of set it off, or that has caused it to occur. So yeah, pile number 3. Kind of a heavy hitting sort of energy, but most likely it's going to make it really easy for you to see whether you resonate with this, whether you are in this like black cloud, worried, anxious energy, or whether you aren't. And if you don't resonate with this, then feel free to check out the other piles as well. But if you do resonate with this, then definitely stay tuned, because now we are getting to the actual juice of today's reading. We are going to use some oracle cards and also the Wild Unknown Tarot that you chose. And the first thing that we are going to start off with is answering the main question, the main focus of today's reading, which is all about the second chance that you are getting. So we're going to take a look at what is the second chance. Where are you being given a do-over? What is something that you thought was lost to you that you are actually getting a second chance with? So we got the escape card and the endings card as well, but I'm just going to make a mental note of these cards, and I'm going to focus on the card that sort of flew out first, which is anger or rage. To me, this card feels very much like rage, but we have the 4 of Cups in reverse that you got, and the Son of Swords, or the Knight of Swords in traditional tarot terms. So pile number 3, this reading feels potentially more specific, so I'm not sure how many people are going to resonate with this, but again, I have to honor the cards and the messages that are coming through. So if it's yours, and if it isn't, then it isn't. And yeah, that's just how it is. But the message that I feel here, the second chance that you are getting, is actually something related to like a second wind. And what I mean by that is that we have this Four of Cups. Actually, I'm just going to focus on these tarot cards first. We have the Four of Cups that is coming out in reverse, and the Sun of Swords or the Knight of Swords. And it feels like there is some form of complacency here. There is something about feeling unhappy with where you are, but also maybe having felt somewhat powerless or just lacking energy in doing something about it. Maybe even feeling like you are not sure what other options you do have. But the Sun of Swords here is literally full of power, full of force, full of determination to actually go after something, to make something happen, to push through, to boldly charge into new territory, and most likely through some sort of a war. And this Rage or Anger card feels very much tied to this Sun of Swords energy. So I feel like there is potentially something, and I'm kind of jumping back to these cards here that I, as I said, made a mental note about, because we also had the Ending card and the Escape card. There is most likely something about you having stayed someplace, or maybe kept some things around, some energies present in your life that you knew were not good for you, but that you maybe didn't have within you, like you didn't have the strength to actually do something about it, to actually separate yourself from it. Or even if it wasn't necessarily tied to your own strength or your own determination, there may have been something else that got in the way. But either way, it feels like your attempts to separate yourself from that energy, it was thwarted, or it didn't happen. There was a fall through in that sense. But now it seems that this complacency, or this feeling unhappy or unfulfilled, but somewhat like apathetic about it, as like maybe even a surviving mechanism of sorts, that is something that is coming to an end, because you seem to be getting, as I said, a second wind, this force, this determination, this fire in your belly, quite literally, that is going to propel you to push through that fear or that anxiety and actually do something to change your circumstances. Actually, again, set yourself free, or at least move out of this Four of Cups energy, right? Where things just are, and they are just stuck and stagnant, and you are not happy with where you are, or who you are surrounded by, or what sort of energy you are in right now. So as I said, this feels very straightforward and potentially more specific, but yeah, you are going to be getting a second chance at actually setting yourself free and breaking through some sort of barrier, some sort of wall, something that has kept you from separating yourself from this energy in the past. But let's also see how you can make the most use of this second chance that you are getting. So how can you take advantage of this opportunity in the best way? Okay, interesting. So we have the Five of Wands, Justice in reverse, and Rest. So again, I feel like the message is quite sort of clear and straightforward. We have these two completely black and white cards. We have the Five of Wands and Justice in reverse. And it feels like the best way that you can make use of this second chance or this opportunity is by focusing on what your needs are and how they are not being honored, how they are not being respected, how they are not being taken into consideration, how there is all of this one-sided energy that is sort of ruling this whole situation, and how it is completely unfair to you. Because I feel that there is this level of like oppression or shoving something aside, and I do feel that that something is what you want, like your desires, your wishes, your needs. They seem to be being pushed to the side, or they are they are not honored. And the Five of Wands is clearly depicting the need to stand up for yourself, the need to voice your needs, your desires, your wishes, and to fight for those, to stand up for those, to stand up to this injustice. And by doing so, verbalize your boundaries, to make it clear where you stand, and also to let it show that it is not okay with you, you know, because we also have this rest card here. And so clearly the energy and the atmosphere of peace and quiet and respite are very, very important keywords here. And these are things for you to focus on. Sorry, the card didn't want to focus. So yeah, this respite, rest, recovery, this energy of peace and relaxation is something that should be at the forefront of your mind. Like going after this is what matters. So focusing on your peace, focusing on what you want your life to be. I feel like, again, I'm being drawn back to this purpose card, which seems to be like this shining ray of light amid this like dark energy, right? Like having your eye and focus on the goal, the ultimate destination. Again, this North Star. Even if you don't exactly know what it is, even if you are somewhat hazy about it, just following the feeling of good, feeling of ease, feeling of harmony, feeling of peace, and again, relaxation, right? These energies, these situations, these people, these places that make you feel at ease, that calm you down, that make you feel safe, that make you feel protected, right? Everything that isn't this, like following that is something that is most likely going to lead you to your North Star. So fighting for that dream is the best way that you can make use of this second wind that you are being given. But let's also see, where can this second chance take you? What is the potential outcome or result of you taking this opportunity and going forward with the second chance? Okay, hang on. Sorry, the cards flew on the floor. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Okay. We have the Six of Cups, the Daughter of Wands, or the Page of Wands, as it is in traditional tarot, the Nine of Wands, and the Gift. Okay, so pile number 3. The Six of Cups and the Daughter of Wands, or the Page of Wands, are making me feel very strongly that you have the opportunity, by taking this second chance, to actually reframe your mind regarding kindness and generosity, and almost like rebirth this belief in goodness, almost like revitalize a sense of innocence, or bring back a more optimistic and sincere and innocent way of seeing the world. And it's not a bad thing. Like this childlike innocence, which the Six of Cups talks about, is something that allows us to survive the tough times, right? It's something that allows us to keep holding on and to keep having hope that things are going to be better. And I feel like this whole experience that you have gone through, that you are currently in the middle of, it has such a strong potential of making you jaded, of making you become a lot more cynical about people and things and life in general. But I feel like there is this other opportunity of not going down that path, of not allowing those experiences to drain you of this sweet and innocent and compassionate and trusting way of being. Like, I feel like you have such a beautiful opportunity to almost like scrap that past and again, like rewrite how you see the world, and almost like open you up to this newfound optimism and joy and faith in life being something better, something more. Now, because the Nine of Wands is here, I do want to add that it's not like you are getting these rose-colored glasses on and you are forgetting about everything that you have gone through. Not at all. The Nine of Wands is a clear depiction of you having gone through a lot, but mainly using those as lessons, things to look back on and reflect on and see where they have led you, see where they have taken you, instead of being boxed in by it or being defined by it. So we have this gift as well. And I feel like it's literally this, okay, this card is not focusing, but it's rediscovering the gift of life is kind of what I want to say. And maybe finding joy and fulfillment from something beautiful, something sincere. Because again, we have this beautiful Six of Cups here as well. And the Six of Cups can also very often hint at some form of like gift giving or generosity. And so I feel like you may discover that you are going to be rewarded for having gone through and survived that period of time and that experience. So yeah, it's a really beautiful and hopeful energy that is coming through here. That's kind of all that I feel like saying about that. But pile number 3, we are almost done with the reading. I know that it has been a long one again, and I hope that you have managed to bear with me. As I said, we are getting closer to the end. We are going to get an oracle card message from Spirit. This is going to be a piece of advice for you regarding this whole spread. And then of course, we're also going to take a look at the message that is on the other side of the card that you chose. But let's see what sort of advice Spirit has for you. Ooh, wow. Okay. So we have Shaman, trust in higher forces. Ooh, I love this. I really, really love this. It's again one of those cards that truly just makes you feel like there is a plan behind all of this. There is a bigger picture. Is this card going to focus? Oh my goodness. Okay, I feel like the camera is just done working with me. This has taken way too long. So anyway, we have the Shaman, trust in higher forces. And as I said, I feel like it's just a confirmation that this whole experience has not been in vain. And there is something on the other side of it. Trust that you are going to be shown the way. Trust that things are going to be better. Trust that you are going to be finding joy and meaning and fulfillment in your life again, and that things are going to turn around for you. I'm also going to show you the underlying energy with this snake card and shed old skin. Yeah, that's what it says. Shed old skin. I feel like you are definitely in this process of making a huge shift and change in your life and outgrowing certain patterns or just again, things that have been inhibiting you, things that have been making life more difficult, but that have been difficult to shed as well. And it seems like this whole process, this whole experience, everything that you are currently going through and that you are about to be able to shift as well and sort of turn around for the better, all of it is in the name of huge growth and meaningful momentum, like moving forward in a truly miraculous way. I feel that there is something so like beautifully and powerfully transformative about this experience that you are in. And I know that it may not be the most consoling thing to hear, especially if you are struggling, especially if you are really, really at the thick of it. but I do see so much like promise and so much, again, like meaning behind the things that that you are going through. And I can see that you are able to set yourself free from this, from all of this negativity. And I love that for you, pile number 3. But now the time has come to look at the message that is on the other side of the card that you chose. So let's see what we are wrapping this reading up with. When it feels like you're, oh my God, and by the way, I love that we are getting another purple card. All of this purple is just so like beautifully working together. But sorry, coming back to the message. When it feels like you're back to step 1, remember you're simply entering a new phase of the journey with lessons from the previous phase in hand. Oof, oh my goodness. I feel like this is so incredibly powerful, pile number 3. I do feel that you may feel somewhat like, again, somewhat like tied to the past, or it's like, I don't know whether we actually talked about it, but there may be a feeling of like standing still, or like this whole energy of feeling powerless, or feeling like you don't have it in you to change anything. Again, this whole reading is talking about that not being the case. And again, even if you are faced with something that you have already gone through, if you feel like you are rotating back to a place that you thought you had set yourself free from, or you are not quite sure whether you have it in you to change or to do things differently this time around, then this message is just a beautiful reminder that you are actually so much more wise and experienced than you were before. You have a whole different set of skills and knowledge to help you this time around. So yeah, it's beautiful. And by the way, I haven't really read any of the rituals for any of the other piles, but this is such a beautiful one, because it says, visualize yourself standing on a staircase. Look behind you and see the many steps you've taken. Remind yourself of how far you've come. And see, I'm being reminded of this 9 of Wands here, because it is actually depicting a staircase. And you are so far along on your journey. You have gone through so much, and you can be really, really proud of yourself for having gone through all of that. So yeah, if you feel called to do this ritual, then I would highly recommend it, because it feels like it's very apt in this reading that we did today. But pile number 3. Wow, I am going to leave it here. I hope that these messages were useful to you. I hope that if you did resonate with this story and this scenario, then I hope that you got something from these messages, that they filled you with some form of hope. And if that's the case, by the way, if you are still here, if you made it all the way to this point, then leave me a little snake emoji down in the comment section, because the symbol of transformation seems like the most suitable emoji right now. So please let me know in the comment section that this was your story, that you found something meaningful from this. I would love to connect with you in the comment section. And I just really, really appreciate you being here. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen through all of these messages, and just let me know how this reading spoke to you. And I am sending you so many hugs and just lots and lots of love and light. And I hope that you get through this period very, very quickly. I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and hopefully fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourself and be good. Bye-bye.